क्या बात है?
आपकी सोच की।
मेरी सोच की?
और आपकी सोच में आप और मैं नामुमकिन है। और मैं अपनी तरफ से जितनी भी कोशिश कर लूं, शायद इस सोच को कभी ना बदल सकूं।
I welcome all of you on our show with the message of peace. Assalamu alaikum. On this program, we bring to you issues that are facing our community, and we try to present to you some remedies and some solutions of those problems. We connect you with our guests who are experts, who are people on the front line, and people who have been there, done that. Hence, the name of the program is Connections. Our topic for today is waste management in the region of Peel. Most homeowners are familiar with the 3 large bins that we use to throw our garbage. They seem nuisance at times, but believe it or not, our garbage has a great impact on our life and our future generations. To give the more insight into this issue, I have 2 honorable guests in our studio. I have Norm Lee, Director of Waste Services, Region of Peel, and I have Ravinder Diwan, Customer Service, Region of Peel. I welcome you both on Connections.
Thank you for having us, Asma.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Please tell our viewers, what do Peel residents need to know about what they throw in the garbage, recycling and organics, and where it goes? Norm?
Certainly, I think your viewers should know 3 things. They should know what to do, they should know what not to do, and they should know where to get information. Because I'm going to tell them a lot of stuff today, and if they're anything like me, they'll have forgotten most of it by the end of the show. So I'm also going to tell them where all this information is. It is on our website at peelregion.ca. I'm going to mention that a few times during the show. They're welcome to go there. A 4th thing they should know is why. And you touched on that in your introduction. The garbage that we produce, the waste that we produce, has a tremendous impact, not just on us, but on future generations, environmental impacts and financial impacts. So they need to know that too.
Correct, correct. So how do you think that what topic we are going to talk about impacts their children in the long run, or on our environment in the long run? How?
Well, the biggest impact, and I'm going to start by saying what they need to do, what they should do, is use all 3 bins properly. They should put recyclables in the recycling bin. They should put organic material, that's kitchen waste and those sorts of things, in the green bin, and then just put garbage in the garbage.
Right.
The material that they put in the recycling bin, it gets turned into new products.
Right.
Paper that they get put in gets turned into new paper. Tin cans that they put in get turned into new tin to be used for other materials.
For packaging and for other things.
Exactly. Yeah. Plastic that they put in gets turned into new plastic.
Right.
And that means 2 things. One, those materials aren't going into a landfill, which in really simple terms is a hole in the ground where we bury garbage and put dirt over it. You know, we do put in proper liners to make sure that chemicals don't get into groundwater, that sort of thing, but it's basically a hole in the ground where garbage goes.
And that's what a landfill is.
That's what a landfill is. So by recycling material, putting material in their blue bin, by putting the food waste in the green bin, it keeps them out of landfill, which is good. The other thing...
excuse me. Why is it good if it doesn't go in the landfill? Why? What is the effect of all the garbage burying in a landfill?
One thing is it means we're going to need a lot more landfills. We have to keep building landfills to put stuff in. When the food waste breaks down, it produces methane, which is a greenhouse gas, and we've all talked about climate change and what greenhouse gases are doing to our climate.
How long does it take for the organic material to decompose, as compared to other things like plastic or glass or paper?
The organic material breaks down fairly quickly in a landfill, and when I say fairly quickly, I mean in like 20 or 25 years. When we put plastic in a landfill, it's there for hundreds of years before it breaks down.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
But as bad as that is, the worst thing about throwing good resources into a landfill is that we have to go back out to the forests and back out to the mines to get more resources to replace them.
Cut more trees.
Cut more
to
trees,
make more
exactly.
paper.
If we throw newspapers in the garbage and other papers like this,
Right.
then we have to go out to the forest to cut down trees. The residents of Peel Region recycle enough paper every year to save 1 million trees.
1 million trees, wow.
Every year.
That's
So
a lot of trees.
That's 1 million trees that are still out in the forest.
And that's only from Peel.
That's only from Peel.
Wow.
When we
Just imagine if in the city of Toronto, if everybody starts doing that, how many trees we can save?
That's a lot of trees.
Yeah.
And that's trees that are there for the birds and the rabbits and the other animals.
Yeah.
That's trees that
And
are there
for clean air, for,
They clean the air, they take stuff out of the air and produce oxygen.
Correct.
They're there for our children and our children's children when they need to make paper in the future. They're
Right.
still
So
there.
actually it is for our children. If we do recycling, we are doing something for our children, because they are our future.
It's for our children and our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren, because the impacts, and we've learned this over time, the impacts of not recycling, they happen slowly, but every year they get a little bit worse. They're pretty bad now. By the time our children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren come along, they'll be really bad if we don't change our behavior right now.
Well, that's
so
scary.
not only, but I want to say, not only are we leaving, trees in the forest and kind of ore in the ground for metals in the future, but it takes a lot more energy to go out and cut down a tree with a big machine, put it on a truck, haul it into the city, and make that into paper. It takes a lot more energy to do that, gasoline, diesel, than it does to recycle. So by recycling, we're also saving a lot of energy. And I'm going to get the numbers wrong, but I think we save enough energy each year just by recycling. I'm going to correct this later if I'm wrong.
That's
but
okay. That's okay.
I'm
You won't be too off.
The last time I checked, it's every year our Blue Box program, we save the equivalent of 19 million liters of gasoline.
Just imagine that, 19 million liters of gasoline. Wow, that's a big figure.
Now, my car takes, I think, about 50 or 60 liters. That's quite a few.
One fill.
One fill. That's quite a few fill-ups in 19 million liters.
Yes.
So we're saving resources, we're saving energy.
So
we're not,
are we hoping to get cheaper fuel by saving energy?
Thinking of cheaper fuels or different fuels is the material that residents put in their green bin right now, the kitchen wastes, those types of things. Right now, Peel Region composts most of that material.
Okay.
And we produce a nice rich compost. Some of it
which I use all the time because I'm a avid gardener.
some of it goes back to our residents. Some of it is sold in stores.
Yeah.
We're just starting to build now what's called an anaerobic digester, which is really just a big tank that the food will go in and it breaks down in the tank, and that produces methane. which is a fuel.
Yes.
Right now, it's the same. In fact, methane is the exact fuel. When you have a natural gas furnace in your house, it uses methane. So we'll be producing that.
Okay.
So we are going to be producing fuel. We're going to use it either to heat
So the
buildings.
heating bill will be lower in the future for us, maybe.
For, for now, we're going to use
Well,
it in
I'm looking at
regional
that
buildings.
because I just retired and I want to save my money everywhere.
Well,
Well,
I can
okay,
say it's
another-
better to do this than to put it in landfill and lose that fuel.
Okay, now we all think that our waste, not everybody thinks that, but many people think that the waste goes at the same place, recycling plant or recycling center. So
You know-
if it's going to the same place, why separate?
I do hear this a lot. I don't think a week goes by where a resident doesn't ask me that exact question. And part of the reason is the trucks that we use will sometimes collect 2 or 3 different materials.
Yes, yes.
The trucks have separations inside. So they have 2 compartments, and we'll put the green bin on one side and the garbage on the other, something like that. But they see it all going in one truck and think,
Yes, yes.
you're throwing that all in the same place.
Okay.
That's not the case. So believe me, we take that material back, we separate it out. The recyclable material that is in the blue box gets recycled. The food
For sure,
waste,
eh?
for sure. That I know.
Ralph, do you want to say something?
हाँ जी मैं ज़रूर ऐड करना चाहांगा
ज़रूर करें।
पंजाबी या उर्दू विच कर अपने सारे साउथ एशियन कम्युनिटी वास्ते जो भी ये शो देख रहे हैं कि जिस एंगल तो रेजिडेंट ट्रक ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਦੇ हैं ਜਿਵੇਂ ਮੈਂ ਇਹ ਮੇਰੇ ਘਰ ਦੀ ਵਿੰਡੋ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਟਰੱਕ ਬਾਹਰ ਆਇਆ ਤੇ ਜਿਸ ਐਂਗਲ ਤੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਟਰੱਕ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਦਾ ਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਸਾਰਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵੇਸਟ ਹੈ ਰਿਸਾਈਕਲ ਆਰਗੈਨਿਕਸ ਤੇ ਗਾਰਬੇਜ ਉਹ ਇੱਕੋ ਟਰੱਕ ਦੇ ਵਿਚਕਾਰ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਨੋਰਮ ਨੇ ਮੈਂਸ਼ਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਂਸ਼ਨ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਸਾਰਾ ਵੇਸਟ ਇੱਕ ਟਰੱਕ 'ਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਥਾਂ ਤੇ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਮਟੀਰੀਅਲ ਰਿਕਵਰੀ ਫੈਸਿਲਿਟੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਉਸਨੂੰ ਮਟੀਰੀਅਲ ਰਿਕਵਰੀ ਫੈਸਿਲਿਟੀ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮਰਫ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਉਸਨੂੰ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿਚਕਾਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਰਿਸਾਈਕਲੇਬਲ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਹ ਸੋਰਟ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਕੈਟਾਗਰੀ ਵਿਚਕਾਰ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਨੋਰਮ ਨੇ ਮੈਂਸ਼ਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਰਿਸਾਈਕਲੇਬਲਸ ਹੈਗਾ ਮੈਟਲ 'ਚ ਬਣ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪੇਪਰ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਉਹ ਹੋਰ ਪੇਪਰ 'ਚ ਬਣ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਕਾਰਡਬੋਰਡ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਰਿਕਵਰੀ ਫੈਸਿਲਿਟੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿਚਕਾਰ ਹਿਊਮਨ ਵੀ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਮਕੈਨੀਕਲ ਸੋਰਟਿੰਗ ਵੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ
ਅੱਛਾ
ਜੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੱਗੇ ਨੋਰਮ ਅੱਗੇ ਇਲੈਬੋਰੇਟ ਮੋਰ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ
I see.
ਹਾਂਜੀ
I see. So we are sure that the material is separated at the recovery, and what we see is not what is true. We see that everything is going in the same place, so we think that, oh, why bother? Right.
That's correct. And one thing we're doing, I mentioned before, people can go to our website to get information. We're also starting to put some videos on our website, and this is one of the videos that we're going to put on our website. Is
Oh, when you said you're going to put videos, I thought you're going to put videos like to monitor us.
No. We're just gonna. There'll be just a little video clip on our website
Okay.
where they can go, and it will show what the back of a truck
Yeah.
looks like, and it shows
Oh,
how the
okay.
two
That's
halves
a very good
of
idea.
the truck.
That's a
because
very good
that's just a question we get all the time.
Yes. Okay. Very good. So another thing is that it goes to the same spot and it's all separated. There is a problem that people don't know really how to dispose of the different parts of the garbage, like recyclable. And suppose there is a half-filled jar of pickles, and it has mold on it, so they don't want to eat it or anything, so they want to throw it out. So where does it go? To the garbage, to the compost, or to the recycle?
First thing I'll say, pickles are great. They should eat them. They can send them to me and I'll eat them.
With mold too?
we're starting to touch on, at the beginning of the show, I said there's things people should not do. And this is we're starting to get into that. People do things that they think are helpful, they think are right, that cause us some problems. And this is also touching on the part I said about the cost of the program.
Right.
So there's a couple of things people do that aren't helpful. One of them, and they're trying to do everything right. They take good recyclables and they put them in a grocery bag, a plastic grocery bag, and they tie the top of the bag to make it neat so that the things don't fall out. And they put that in their blue cart, the recycling cart.
I mean, I'm guilty of that too, because I tie it so that when they are dumping it in the truck, it doesn't fly all over the place. So I tie it in.
And you know what? Flying, blowing litter was a big problem before we introduced these new carts. I used to get called once a week, twice a week to go out and clean up blowing recyclable material. Since we've had the carts, it doesn't happen very much. The odd little piece blows around, but not very much. So you can leave them loose, and that's what the challenge is. The machines we have in our recycling plants, they can't open those little bags.
Okay.
So they all end up going out to the landfill at the end of it. What residents could do, a very easy fix, is just not tie the grocery
Even
bag.
the small pieces of paper, like when you are ripping a piece of information, you rip it in 4, 5, 6 small pieces. So if you put it just like that, and when they are dumping it, obviously some of it is going to fly away because it's too small. What do you think?
A little bit does fly around. There's no doubt about that, but it's very little. The better thing though is leave it loose. You can leave it in the little grocery bag. It's better if you dump it out, obviously, but please don't tie the grocery bags, because what happens is we pay our recycling contractor to process that bag of stuff, and then when it goes to the trash, we have to pay our garbage contractor to do it too. So we're paying twice. Well, our residents are paying twice. So to keep costs down, keep it open. On the on the jar of pickles,
yes,
the machines we have in our plant, they're made, they assume everything is empty and light. So if something is half full, a half full water bottle, it doesn't recognize it as a water bottle, so it ends up going to trash. Pickles, and especially glass jars, if there's food in glass jars, it breaks. The pickle juice gets all over the newspaper. The newspaper, they don't want to recycle the newspaper because it now has pickle juice on it. The best thing to do, pour the liquid down the sink.
So it's like a domino effect. Everything gets waste.
Everything gets to waste. So the best thing is put the pickles in the green bin and put the jar in the blue bin.
और सब तो अच्छा तरीका ये भी हैगा कि जेड़ा जार से ग्लास जार ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਹਲਕਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਰਿੰਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਪਾਣੀ ਥੱਲੇ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਰਿਸਾਈਕਲ ਦੀ ਕੁਆਲਿਟੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਰਿਡਿਊਸ ਨਾ ਹੋਵੇ। ਜਿਵੇਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਬਟਰ ਚਿਕਨ ਦੀ ਸੌਸ ਆਪਾਂ jar 'ਚ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਰੱਖ ਲਿੱਤੀ ਤੇ ਓਵਰ ਟਾਈਮ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਮੋੜ ਲੱਗ ਗਈ, ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਫ਼ ਕਰਨਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ।
ਅੱਛਾ,
ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਜਿਵੇਂ ਨੋਰਮ ਨੇ ਮੈਂਸ਼ਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਗਰੋਸਰੀ ਬੈਗਸ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਕਾਫੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮੈਟਿਕ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲੀ ਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਜਾਏ ਨਾ ਅਪਾਰਟਮੈਂਟ ਬਿਲਡਿੰਗਸ ਵਿਚਕਾਰ। ਅਪਾਰਟਮੈਂਟ ਬਿਲਡਿੰਗਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੋਕੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਗਰੋਸਰੀ ਬੈਗ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਟਾਈ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਿੱਧਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਫਰੰਟ ਐਂਡ ਬਿਨ 'ਚ ਪਾ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ। ਇਹ ਬੜੀ ਵੱਡੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮੈਟਿਕ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ। ਇਨਫੈਕਟ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੋਕੀ ਅਪਾਰਟਮੈਂਟ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਰੀਜਨਲ ਅਪੀਲ ਵਿਚਕਾਰ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿਚਕਾਰ ਇਹ ਰੀਯੂਜ਼ੇਬਲ ਬੈਗਸ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਜੋ ਲੋਕੀ ਐਡਵਾਂਟੇਜ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ। ਇਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੁਪਰਿੰਟੈਂਡੈਂਟ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਪਰਟੀ ਮੈਨੇਜਰ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿ ਕੇ, ਔਰ ਇਹ ਬੈਗ ਦਾ ਪਰਪਸ ਹੀ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੂਜ਼ ਰਿਸਾਈਕਲੇਬਲਸ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਇਸ ਬੈਗ ਨੂੰ ਕੈਰੀ ਕਰਕੇ ਅਪਾਰਟਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਰਿਸਾਈਕਲਿੰਗ ਬਿਨ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਐਮਟੀ ਕਰਕੇ ਬਿਨ ਵਿਚਕਾਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਐਬਸੋਲੂਟਲੀ ਥੀਸ ਬੈਗਸ ਆਰ ਰੀਯੂਜ਼ੇਬਲ ਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਬੈਗ ਵਿਚਕਾਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਲੂਜ਼ ਰਿਸਾਈਕਲੇਬਲ ਕਾਰਡਬੋਰਡ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਗਲਾਸ ਜਾਰਸ ਹੋ ਗਏ, ਪੇਪਰਸ ਹੋ ਗਏ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ईजिली यूज़ कर सकते हो। एक और बड़ी दिक्कत है मेडिकल वेस्ट। मैं मेडिकल वेस्ट के बारे में बताना चाहूँगा। हमारी साउथ एशियन कम्युनिटी में बहुत से लोग हैं जो डायलिसिस पेशेंट्स हैं, बहुत से लोग हैं जो अपनी ब्लड शुगर रेगुलर बेसिस पे चेक करते हैं और इंसुलिन भी लेते हैं। तो वो क्या होता है, जैसे डायलिसिस पेशेंट्स की जो रिलेटेड आइटम्स होती हैं जैसे कि कैथीड्रल जो बैग होते हैं और जो इंसुलिन की नीडल्स होती हैं या हम जो ब्लड शुगर चेक करते हैं नीडल्स होती हैं, वो कई लोग रिसाइकल में डाल देते हैं तो कई लोग गार्बेज में डाल देते हैं। अनफॉर्चुनेटली ये मटेरियल रिसाइकलेबल और गार्बेज नहीं है। जो डायलिसिस की है उसको डबल बैग करके, बाय ग्रोसरी बैग हो जो मर्जी हो, उसको गार्बेज में डाल दीजिए। और अगर आपके पास नीडल्स हैं जैसे कि आपने इंसुलिन चेक की, इंसुलिन ली या आपने अपनी ब्लड शुगर चेक की, तो उसके लिए एक हैजर्डस कंटेनर्स आते हैं जो हमारे रिसाइकलिंग सेंटर्स में फ्री हैं। उनकी कोई कॉस्ट नहीं है,
जैसे डॉक्टर्स के पास भी होते हैं।
एग्जैक्टली, फार्मासिस्ट के पास भी होते हैं। तो अगर आपने चेक किया वो नीडल को कंटेनर में डालें और रिसाइकलिंग सेंटर में
और
ड्रॉप
वो
कर
जो
दीजिए।
स्ट्रिप होती है उसकी
वो स्ट्रिप गार्बेज हो सकती है, स्ट्रिप कोई दिक्कत नहीं, क्योंकि स्ट्रिप शार्प्स नहीं है।
ओह आई सी, तो
हाँ
शराब
जी,
नहीं होना चाहिए।
शार्प नहीं होना चाहिए। बाकी नॉर्मल भी टच करेंगे, जो डायलिसिस पेशेंट की जो मेडिकल वेस्ट की प्रॉब्लम है, जो हमारी रिसाइकलिंग फैसिलिटीज में वो कैसे इम्पैक्ट करती है।
So, Norm, talk to our viewer about medical waste or medicine or all kind of medical waste things that we use at home, for example, dialysis or blood testing things or whatnot, or even the unused tablets or unused other medicine. How should we discard it?
Sure, and I think our viewers know a lot of residents use certainly medicine at home. If you have unused medicine, what you should do is bring that back to the pharmacy where you got it, and they'll take care of it. If you're unable to do that, you could bring it into one of Peel Region's community recycling centers, and we'll take care of it and manage that for you. The other thing that we're...
Are the centers located at several locations, or is there just one place where they have to go? Because that can also be, cumbersome to go that far to one center. Is it possible to deposit somewhere else, like close by?
Peel Region has 6 community recycling centers, and they're spread across the region, so most residents can find one within a very short distance from their home. Again, they can go to our website to find the exact locations at peelregion.ca, and they're all listed on there.
Right.
Other municipalities have similar facilities, some more, some less, and usually their websites will tell them where to go. But the other thing you asked about is home health care waste. More and more residents are treating some of their medical issues at home now. People do home dialysis, which is great. It's more comfortable for the resident. It cuts down on the cost at hospitals, but they end up with the tubing from the dialysis as a waste. What they should do with that is put it in a double bag, tie the bags, and put those bags in the garbage.
So tie them.
Tie them and put them in the garbage. And then it can be safely managed. What we're finding is some residents mistakenly put them in the recycling bin, in their blue bin.
Yeah, they consider it's plastic, so it should go.
They think it's plastic, so they think it's recyclable. When that gets to our plant, we have a lot of workers at our plants. We have a lot of machines and a lot of workers. Every time the workers see that, they have to stop the plant, and it ends up costing a lot of money and creating dangers. A lot of residents use needles for things like insulin if they're diabetic. They have little lancets that they pick their fingers with sometimes to get a blood sample to test for sugar, that sort of thing. These things can also pose a danger no matter where they're put, if they're in a garbage bag or if they're in a recycling. Imagine the worker doesn't see it and sticks his finger or her finger on this. It's very dangerous. Those, they can be brought back to pharmacies, and most of the pharmacies across Ontario will take them back, including in Peel Region.
Yes.
The other thing they can do is they can visit one of our 6 community recycling centers, and we will give them those hard plastic cases that people put used syringes in.
Okay.
When it's full, they can bring the case in and we'll exchange it. We'll take the full one, we'll give them an empty one, no charge,
That's good.
and then they can be safely and properly disposed of.
That's good. I hope these centers could be established in every community center, because every community has at least one community center. Like in Malton, we have a community center. I live in Malton, so in Malton there is a community center. If this facility or these containers or whatnot, if there is a small center within the community center, so where people can go and get it, and everybody knows that this is our community center, so community center will have these things. That will be a good idea. I don't know how affordable or how feasible it is.
Our Peel Regional Council just approved So staff, we're just starting to work on this. They've just approved for us to install these, you see them sometimes in public bathrooms, the hard metal, or sorry, the hard plastic containers that people put the syringes into.
Okay.
They've just approved for us to put those in more community centers and public buildings across Peel region. So over the next year, you'll start seeing them popping up more and
That's
more,
good.
so that people can safely dispose of
That's
these.
good. That's good. So, what do you find is the most common mistake that people make when it comes to their waste? What is the most common mistake?
The most common mistake, I think, is people tying recyclables in a plastic grocery bag is probably number one.
Number one.
Number two is probably throwing out a half-full water bottle or a pickle jar that still has pickles in it. Number three, not as common but very important, is putting home health care waste in the recycling. And then I got to put it up at the top. Number four is putting recyclables or organic material in the garbage instead of in the other two bins. Peel residents are doing a great job of recycling. Right now, about half of the waste that we generate gets recycled or composted, and half of it gets sent to landfill as garbage, and that's comparable to others in the area. But when we look at our garbage bag, about half of the material that's still put in the garbage could go either in the recycling bin or in the green bin. So we know we could do better. That's why council set a target of 75%. So we're now working to
75% recycled.
recycling and composting.
And compost.
75%.
So just to add to Norm's comment, 75% by 2034. So हमारा aim यही है कि लोगों को educate किया जाए through community programs and channels कि जो उनके initiatives हैं, efforts हैं, जैसे कि नॉर्म ने बताया कि अगर हम recycling plastic बैग में डाल रहे हैं तो effort तो है पर वो effort waste है,
सही नहीं हो रही।
हाँ जी, क्योंकि जो recycle अगर plastic grocery बैग में आएगा और वो टाई होगा तो वो garbage में जाएगा।
सही बात है।
हाँ जी।
तो यानी कि जो मेन प्रॉब्लम है वो ये है कि लोग कभी कभी एक तो बैग्स को टाई कर देते हैं, सेकेंडली ये कि हाफ फिल बॉटल्स यू सी एवरी फंक्शन यू गो टू, इन एवरी फंक्शन पीपल टेक अ बॉटल, दे नेवर फिनिश इट एंड इट्स सिटिंग देयर एंड ऑब्वियसली इट गोज टू द मतलब गलत जगह पे जाता है।
हाँ जी, जैसे कि हम कंटेनर में खाना खाया, राइट एग्जांपल, तो हम अगर हाफ फिल कंटेनर है जैसे कि चिकन है या बीफ है या जो आप खा रहे हैं, चावल हैं, तो वो कंटेनर की दो एरियाज में डाइवर्ट हो सकता है। पहली बात है, स्टायरोफोम कंटेनर को मैं रिक्वेस्ट करता हूँ सभी को, उसको दोबारा माइक्रोवेव में रीहीट मत कीजिए।
क्यों?
क्योंकि उसके हेल्थ कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस होते हैं। जैसे कि हमारे पास एक कॉफ़ी कप है, तो वो कॉफ़ी कप है, पेपर बेस्ड कॉफ़ी कप है, तो उसके अंदर एक प्लास्टिक की लाइनिंग होती है। तो अगर आप उसको माइक्रोवेव में हीट करोगे तो इमीडिएटली आपको पता होना चाहिए कि जो प्लास्टिक है वो मेल्ट भी होता है, तो जो उसके अंदर कार्सिनोजेंस हैं, तो उसके अंदर वो केमिकल्स हैं, तो वो आपके फूड में रिलीज हो रहे हैं। और अगर आपने
तो ये आप पेपर कप्स की बात कर रहे हैं,
पेपर कप्स जैसे कि ब्रांड नेम, स्टायरोफोम भी उसी कैटेगरी में आता है।
अच्छा।
अगर स्टायरोफोम कप्स हों या कोई नेम ब्रांड कॉफी कंपनी के कप्स हों, उसको भी अगर आप रीहीट करते हो तो उसके हेल्थ कॉन्सिक्वेंसेज हैं। हमारे डिपार्टमेंट ऑलवेज रेकमेंड करता है कि ऑलवेज रीयूज, जैसे रीयूजेबल प्लेट्स होती हैं, रीयूजेबल कटलरीज होती हैं, उसमें आप हीट करते हैं। सेरामिक प्लेट्स होती हैं, उसमें आप रीहीट कर सकते हो। अगर हम आ जाएं जो कंटेमिनेशन, जैसे नॉर्म ने बताया कि अगर आप ऑर्गेनिक्स को रिसाइकल में डाल दो, अगर आप स्टायरोफोम जैसे बात कर रहे थे, स्टायरोफोम के अंदर फूड पड़ा हुआ है तो आपने रिसाइकिल कर दिया तो वो कंटेमिनेशन हो गई।
राइट। हाँ, क्योंकि स्टायरोफोम को अगर हम दोबारा से हीट करें तो उसमें से कुछ गैसें निकलती हैं ऐसी जो कि कार्सिनोजेनिक यानी कि कैंसर काजिंग होती हैं, उससे कैंसर हो सकता है। तो लिहाजा हमें इस चीज़ का बहुत ख्याल रखना चाहिए कि हम स्टायरोफोम के कंटेनर्स या कप्स उसको हम दोबारा से हीट ना करें, माइक्रोवेव करके हम अपनी चाय या कॉफ़ी गर्म ना करें या अपना खाना गर्म ना करें, क्योंकि वो कैंसर काजिंग होता है। और कुछ भी आप बताना?
हाँ जी, बस मैं ये कहना चाहूँगा, अगर कंटेनर है आपके पास, उसमें फूड है, तो फूड को स्क्रैप करके ऑर्गेनिक बिन में डालें, और जो कंटेनर है उसमें काफ़ी स्टेन्स पड़ जाते हैं, धब्बे पड़ जाते हैं, तो वो रिसाइकलेबल नहीं होता।
अच्छा।
हाँ जी, क्योंकि जितनी प्रोडक्ट की क्वालिटी डाउन होगी उतनी ही हम आगे प्रोडक्ट नहीं थर्ड पार्टी को बेच पाएंगे।
सही बात है। अच्छा, तो बहुत दफ़ा तो मैंने ये देखा है कि जो किसी भी आप फंक्शन में जाते हैं और वहाँ पे या वैसे भी लोग जो जाते हैं बाहर खाना खाते हैं ख़रीद के मैकडॉनल्ड से इधर उधर, और बाज़ दफ़ा वो पूरा नहीं ख़त्म करते तो वो एक साथ ही डाल देते हैं सारा।
हाँ जी,
तो वो दैट इज़ लाइक टोटली वेस्ट।
बिल्कुल सही बात है।
तो उसको अगर गार्बेज में डालते तो इज़ दैट ओके?
आप डिपेंड करता है, अगर वो आप घर में लेके आए, जैसे आप रीजनल पीर में रहते हैं, घर में लेके आए तो बाहर असूल तो यही बोलता है कि अगर आपके पास ग्रीन बिन है तो जो बचा हुआ खाना है वो ग्रीन बिन में डालें। राइट। और अगर आप बाहर जैसे कि शॉपिंग मॉल में है कहाँ पे, तो आप गार्बेज में डाल सकते हैं, क्योंकि मॉल्स के जो वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट के प्रोग्राम होते हैं वो डिफरेंट होते हैं। तो रेजिडेंशियल के डिफरेंट होते हैं और कमर्शियल के डिफरेंट होते हैं।
Okay, so there are two different types of recycling programs, one for residential facilities and one for commercial facilities. So if we are eating in a mall or in a restaurant or somewhere, and we buy food and it's in a recyclable, not recyclable, I mean styrofoam container, and we have some leftover. Now they don't have green bins and they don't have any way for us to separate the two things. We should put it in the garbage because they have a different type of program for recycling those waste material and the styrofoam also, right?
और यहाँ मैं बस यही ऐड करना चाहूँगा कि जो कमर्शियल है वो म्यूनिसिपल लेवल पे हैंडल नहीं होता। कमर्शियल के अपने मैनेजमेंट आप होते हैं और रेजिडेंशियल लेवल है तो वो म्यूनिसिपल लेवल पे हैंडल करती है गवर्नमेंट।
Okay, because the residential waste is tackled by the municipal government, like Peel government or Toronto municipal government of Toronto, but commercial waste is handled by another facility, which is like provincial or
नहीं, वो डिपेंड करता है कि जिस मैनेजमेंट कंपनी में आप डील करते हो, could be privately done, could be
it can be privately
हाँ,
done.
उसे बोलते हैं जैसे IC&I सेक्टर, इंडस्ट्रियल कमर्शियल इंस्टीट्यूशनल सेक्टर।
industrial commercial institutional
Hanji.
centers. Okay, very good information. Okay, so when everything you explain that now, when everything gets mixed together, everything suffers. If there is food and there is liquid and there is paper and there is plastic and everything, we really cannot come up with a good recycling program. Right?
Well, that's correct, and that's why we start using the phrase recycle right. Mm-hmm. It's important to recycle. We talked about all the reasons: saving trees, saving energy, saving money. But if you mix it up too much, and if there's too much what we call contamination, it all ends up going to the garbage in the end. So it's important to keep it.
Okay.
Keep it separate.
So the last thing we want to say is, what is your message to the people, our friends who are watching it, and people who should get involved with recycling? What can be your last a few words that you want to say?
I think my final message would be, I think we all know that we need clean air to live. We need clean water to live. We need to save some trees in the forest, for our children and our children's children. The way to do that is to recycle, to use your recycling bin properly, to use composting. Don't just put everything in the garbage. Peel residents are doing a great job right now at 50% recovery of these resources. We want to get to 75. We think with a few small changes we can improve what we're doing. A lot of information, it's complex, it's complicated. I don't expect people to remember everything I said today. Go to our website, peelregion.ca, or to your own municipal website if you live in a different municipality. Every one of us has a lot of information on what to put in different bins. We call it a waste sorter. You can type in any material and it'll do that. If you're still not sure, you can call us in Peel Region, 905-791-0000. 9499, and we'll answer your questions. I think each one of us can make a difference, and if we all get together, we can make a big difference. Now that you know this stuff, or what you do know, please share it with your neighbors, because they may not have heard the same messages.
Yeah, that's a good idea, to share with your neighbors, share with other people. There is no harm in it, there is no shame in it, because we are doing it for our future. And guess who is our future? Our children. So we are doing it for our children. We are coming to the end of our show, and I hope you have enjoyed watching this program. If you have enjoyed, and if you have liked it, please send us your responses. You can send us your response on our email, which I'm going to give you. It's info@toronto360.tv, or you can call us 416-500-2424. I'm your host, Asma Warsi. I thank you again, Norm and Ravinder. I thank you again, and I hope my viewers liked it too. Thank you very much. Khuda Hafiz.
Get ready for another mega concert presented by Watan Kebab and jobsingta.com. Atif Aslam and Neha Kakkar live in Toronto.
ये मौसम की बारिश, ये बारिश का पानी, मिले हो तुम हमको बड़े नसीबों से.
On 28th April at Harsha Center, Mississauga. For tickets, call now 416-464-8649. Sponsored by Alpha Trans Limited.
पिया तू अब तो आजा, शोला सा मन
इस घर में चीजें रह जाती हैं और लोग चले जाते हैं.
तन की ज्वाला ठंडी हो जाए, ऐसे गले लगा जा.
Witches.
Are you sure about it? Let's do it then.
The family law lawyers at Alam Law Chambers will be with you during your stressful divorce and custody battle so that the best possible result can be found for you and your children. Reliable and affordable. Alam Law.
अपने प्यारों को बुलाइए कनाडा में बसाइए with ICC इमिग्रेशन मुस्तकबिल संवारे आसानी के साथ ICC के साथ
ICC इमिग्रेशन की RD MD और उनकी प्रोफेशनल टीम हेड ऑफिस मिसिसागा से आपको सर्व कर रही हैं। बिजनेस वीजा, स्टूडेंट वीजा, वर्क परमिट, स्पॉन्सरशिप या किसी भी अप्रूव कैटेगरी में आप अपने प्यारों को कनाडा बुलाना चाहते हैं तो अभी कॉल कर लें 905-461-2424। इट्स 905-461-2424।
ICC इमिग्रेशन।
Dixie Electronics and Appliances is your #1 destination for electronics and appliances. Choose from TVs and home audio that will entertain your whole family, to home comfort essentials for your living space and a wide selection of appliances to build your perfect kitchen. From selection to delivery, Dixie Electronics is everything you need. Price match guarantee and 0% financing available, all under one roof. Come today at 5120 Dixie Road, Mississauga, or visit the website at Dixie